Right now on News 10 at 6, some rain in parts of Central Texas this evening, and more changes could be on the way. Plus, local officials let people know when they'll be able to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And President Trump signs an order for more money toward education. What that means for Central Texas students.
This is KWTX News 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Justin Early. You may be getting a little rain this evening, but that is just the beginning of some changes on the way. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Brady Taylor and find out more.
Yeah, Justin, huge changes moving into Central Texas just in time to ring in the new year. Here's a live look outside over the city of Waco off towards the Magnolia Silos. You can see some of those little raindrops that are kind of messing up the view of some of the city lights. Light showers have been working across Central Texas. Most of the day has been rain-free, breezy, kind of warm and muggy, but over the last couple hours, a little band of light showers drifting up to the north near and around I-35. Showers moved across Bell County, but it's pretty quiet there now. McLennan County, some showers along with parts of Falls, Limestone, Milam, and Robertson County as well. The big story gets here as we head into tomorrow. Overnight tonight into the sunrise hours tomorrow morning, a few spotty light showers will be around, but a cold front will be sitting just off to our northwest. That cold front will bring some big changes to our weather, and that cold front and all the changes are driven by a powerful storm system that is shifting out of California, drifting south down into the Baja California area. This storm system is going to take a very south movement of it, a lot farther south than storm systems typically go this time of year, and that's going to lead to some high rain chances for us and some winter potential across parts of the state of Texas. So here's a look at what we're expecting with this storm system. By far the biggest story is high rain chances and heavy rainfall potential for tomorrow and into your Thursday, New Year's Eve. Tomorrow, as that cold front sweeps through, a few stronger storms are possible, particularly east of I-35, and it's going to turn windy and colder tomorrow with that front as well. And yes, there is the potential for winter weather, but that's starting to shift farther off to the west. I'll have more details on the winter potential and the full look at your forecast here in just a few minutes.
All right, Brady, thank you. There will not be any fast tracking of $2,000 COVID-19 stimulus checks in the Senate. Today, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer tried to quickly pass the measure. It would increase stimulus payments for most Americans from $600 to $2,000. The change would have needed unanimous consent. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell objected, though for blocking that effort, the measure could still be scheduled for another vote in the Senate later. While we still might not know exactly how much money Central Texans are getting, it's clear a stimulus bill will be coming. And while $2,000 sounds a lot better, Central Texans we talked with said anything will help. News 10's Drake Lawson joins us with some sound advice people should follow no matter the amount. Drake?
Yeah, Justin, the financial expert we spoke to says it's pretty straightforward. Save it. No matter the amount, he says people should plan on the $600 and plan to spend it wisely.
$600 is rent. $2,000 is a lot of rent.
Well, 600 is all right, but 2,000 would be better. Honestly, I haven't even got the first one, so.
From rent to food, there's no doubt Central Texans we spoke to say $2,000 is much more helpful than the $600 that's already been approved. But even if the Senate doesn't pass an increase, any money is needed.
It would definitely be a help. This coronavirus is definitely taking a hit on me financially. For me, it would help quite a bit. Every little bit would count for me.
Financial expert Derek Kinney says you shouldn't wait. You need to start planning how you are going to use the $600 now.
First of all, it's always best to have a plan before you receive the money. The worst possible scenario here is you receive this unexpected money, then spend it on things you simply don't need or put you in a worse financial position.
And while $2,000 might sound great, don't get your hopes up. Focus on what you do have.
We do know the $600 is happening. We don't know if the $2,000 is happening. So make your plans around what you know is happening, which is $600.
Now, again, as Justin said earlier, while the $2,000 check was blocked by Senator Mitch McConnell for unanimous consent, the legislation could be voted on later. In the meantime, the $600 stimulus checks are expected to be sent out in the coming weeks. Live in studio, Drake Lawson, KWTX News 10.
Okay, Drake, thank you. Let's look now at COVID-19 cases in our area. McLennan County added 4 new deaths and 209 new cases of COVID-19. More than 1,000 of those are active and more than 17,000 people have recovered. Bell County health officials say 6 more people have died in the county. They also added 154 new cases. Nearly 2,000 of the cases are active and more than 10,000 patients have recovered. Bell County officials are also giving people a better idea of what to expect when it's their turn to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. News 10's Matt Dunn was at a news conference today. And Matt, what are they saying about how this will go?
Well, Justin, that's the big question on everyone's minds tonight. Health officials tell us that they will let particular groups know when they have a better sense, but they also say that for certain groups, they should reach out to their healthcare providers so that they don't slip through the cracks.
When we're ready for the general public, and we'll let them know, okay, if you fit criteria X, you can let us know if you want to receive the vaccine and call us to make an appointment.
Dr. Amanda Robison-Chadwell says Bell County will put out regular announcements as the COVID-19 vaccine makes its way through the county.
We'll use our standard channels, which is social media, and obviously letting our media partners, you all know.
But Dr. Chadwell admits it's the people themselves who should take the first step in getting vaccinated against coronavirus.
We want to make sure that we make a certain number of appointments per day based on what our clinic can handle so that we're not opening a vial and using part of it and potentially running the risk of any waste.
That's different from other jurisdictions across the country that are experimenting with targeted text campaigns and other ways to reach people directly.
They're going to get a better turnout for people looking to get vaccinated if they are very open and they're doing most of the legwork in terms of letting people know when they're eligible for this vaccine.
Killeen resident Riley Lang is worried many could be overlooked or misinformed.
There are families who do not have access to social media or internet access. I can't tell you how many posts I've read personally where they're trying to spread information, but then you go into the comment section and it's nothing but misinformed people spreading more misinformation.
Shirley Booker of Salado agrees and says it's up to the community to get the word out.
It's up to the neighbor. It's up to the friend. It's up to the care worker there to not let our neighbors slip through the crack.
Justin, it's important to note that while officials are talking about the rollout right now, it'll still be a bit before most of us will receive the vaccine. Here in Bell County, officials say that they will start the process of vaccinating certain groups next week. Those groups include outpatient care staff, pharmacy staff, school nurses, and last responders, among others. Live in Belton, Matt Dunn, KWTX News 10.
Okay, Matt, thank you. Now, President Trump is allocating more money for education in the form of an executive order signed last night. News 10's Alex Gibbs is live in our Bell County newsroom. And Alex, what does this order exactly mean for students and districts across the country?
Justin, this executive order will provide emergency learning scholarships to students from disadvantaged areas, and they will have the option of where and how they will use these scholarships. Now, the order says the money may be used for tuition and fees for a private school, homeschool, learning pod, or special education services, among others. The president says he signed the order to ensure that all children in the nation have access to educational resources as the pandemic continues, but there are concerns. Rick Bouet with the Killeen Educators Association says he thinks the funds are being spent in the wrong places.
This is just yet another attempt to try to wedge more money to for-profit education institutions. Taxpayer money should be funding public schools. The education code earmarks it for that. Laws are passed to do that. They're required to do that.
Now, there are no specifics as to how much money will be distributed or when this money will be distributed, but there are obvious positives to these services, and especially for those groups that have never had access to them during this pandemic. We'll have more on this coming up tonight at 10. Live in the Bell County newsroom, Alex Gibbs, KWTX News 10.
Alex, thank you. Still ahead, some restaurants and hotels in Texas, even in these times, are preparing for New Year's Eve celebrations. How do they plan to do it safely? The H-E-B in Waco on Wooded Acres and Bosque is expanding. The company says it'll go from 9,400 square feet to more than 108,000. H-E-B hopes to have the project completed by, 94,000. Project complete by next year, late next year. Hotels and restaurants in North Texas are preparing to host New Year's Eve celebrations despite warnings about the spread of COVID-19. Organizers say they are making sure people will be safe, though. The ballroom at the Statler in Dallas will soon be transformed into a royal masquerade ball for champagne toasts at midnight. It's one of dozens of New Year's Eve celebrations happening across the Metroplex.
The people that want to go out will go out, and if they can follow the rules and be safe and stay with us during that time, we're happy to have them.
The Statler promises to adhere to the latest COVID-19 protocols. Capacity will be limited to about 30 to 35%, and masks will be required. Public health officials are still encouraging people to avoid large group gatherings, though. They know everybody's ready to say goodbye to 2020, but warn the virus will continue to follow us into the new year, obviously. And the CDC says the safest way to celebrate is at home with people you live with or virtually with friends and family. Keep celebrations outdoors if you can. If you are indoors, they say open the windows and doors, clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces, keep background music volume low so guests don't need to shout, which may lessen airborne particles. Also use single-use options like condiment packets and limit the number of guests. Are you trying to get rid of your old live Christmas tree? The city of Hewitt set up a recycling drop-off on 3rd Street at Warren. It's right across from the Greater Hewitt Chamber of Commerce. You can take trees there until January 8th. A U.S. Air Force member in Texas is spreading joy and honoring her colleagues by turning old uniforms into some lovely patriotic wreaths that really stand for something. Air Force Staff Sergeant Nicole is using her hobby to help bring military careers full circle. Pompey is the founder of Wreaths by Nicole, which she started out of her home in San Antonio. It was actually created unintentionally after posting a picture of an early creation to Facebook. Some uniforms were sent in from around the country, and several come with quite a bit of history.
I had to cut these ones up from 1946, and I was like, oh, do I cut? Oh my God, like history. But I did it.
She's made more than 200 wreaths since launching in July. And to buy a wreath, visit her Facebook page, Wreaths by Nicole.
Well, it's been a cloudy, muggy, breezy kind of day across Central Texas with highs that made it into the 70s. We've seen a few light showers move in this late afternoon and evening. Much more rain arriving as we head into tomorrow. We'll talk about that and the potential for a little wintry mix coming up next.
The KWTX weather team's grid of skycams in Central Texas has a 360-degree view 24/7 on air and online. Sponsored by Ray Broker Air Conditioning, serving all of Central Texas. Ray Broker is home of the free first service call.
From KWTX News 10, the Weather Authority, Chief Meteorologist Brady Taylor.
Well, as we move through the last few hours across Central Texas, some light showers developing kind of up and down the I-35 corridor, a sign of kind of increasing moisture and a little more lift in the atmosphere. Not amounting to a whole lot, but if you got evening plans tonight, expect to have the umbrella handy. You're going to run into some of those nuisance light showers. Temperatures currently settled in the 60s, and we'll stay in the 60s through the evening and overnight time frame. Light showers continue straight through the evening and overnight. The big story gets here as we go throughout the day tomorrow. Rain chances really start to pick up, not only in coverage, but in intensity. Check that out, 90% chance of rain from 1 till 4, and that'll probably continue well into the evening hours with a likelihood of rain covering most of Central Texas. Again, not just good rain chances, but heavy rain a possibility. Check out this forecast. This is for the next 2 days for your Wednesday and Thursday. So tomorrow and New Year's Eve, most areas of Central Texas likely to see anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. The lower totals will likely be farther out west. We're talking mainly 1 inch to 2 inches from San Saba to Goldthwaite, but as you get kind of near and west of Highway 281, that starts to jump up to around 3 inches. And as you get east of I-35, that's where we could see some isolated 4 to 5 inch rainfall totals. We're in pretty good drought conditions right now, so we need the rain, but it's going to be a good bit of rain, probably a month's worth of rain arriving in a 2-day time frame. So some minor flooding could occur, something we'll definitely be keeping an eye on. This is all driven by a powerful low pressure system that's working its way out of California and diving well down to the south. Now crossing Baja California, it's going to move across northern Mexico before kicking north across the state of Texas. And with the southern trajectory of this storm system, it's going to pull a ton of moisture in and really lead to very good rain chances for us. Also is going to drag in a very potent cold front as well. So let's step you through. There's a whole lot of details to the forecast over the next couple of days. Out the door tomorrow morning, kind of the same as it is right now. Spotty light showers, breezy south winds. But there's the change in the weather. Cold front sitting off to our northwest. It'll quickly move its way into central Texas. By lunchtime, should be sitting near I-35. May not be crossing I-35 yet. We're going to see a distinct drop in the temperatures as that front moves in. Out in advance of the front, 60s and 70s, kind of warm, muggy, kind of sticky conditions. Behind the front, we're dropping temperatures quickly through the 50s down into the 40s with blustery, cold north winds that could gust between 30 and 40 miles per hour. So through the day, your weather is going to change dramatically. As that front slides through, showers and thunderstorms are likely, and we're going to have to watch our eastern counties closely. There could be a few stronger thunderstorms mixed in, some gusty winds a possibility during the early afternoon hours. And as that front continues to sweep out, temperatures falling quickly as we move through the evening hours on Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and rain's going to continue to be a big story. But I emphasize rain. It's going to be a cold, windy, wet, nasty Thursday, but we're expecting temperatures most of the day Thursday to stay above freezing. We'll have to watch out in our western counties closely on Thursday. You're going to be close to the freezing mark out around San Saba, Goldthwaite, Hamilton. And if our storm system happened to shift a little bit east, that could bring a little better potential of a little wintry mix in our western counties. For most of central Texas, just going to be a cold, wet into the new year, and everything should clear out for the first day of 2021. So here's how it all sets up. Vast majority of central Texas, all rain. West of I-35, we could see a few flakes of snow mix in with the rain, but nothing really expected. Snow is possible, say, west of Highway 281. By far, though, the best potential of snow, the way it looks as of now, is going to sit west of our area. And out in that area, we already have a winter storm watch in effect where 2 to 10 inches of snow possible across parts of the Big Country, the Permian Basin, far west Texas, down towards the Big Bend. So if you were looking for snow, that's where the majority of it's going to stay. The big story with the storm system, high rain chances moving in for tomorrow and Thursday. A few of those could be on the strong side, not expecting a big severe event, but we'll watch that closely tomorrow during the midday and afternoon hours. Turns windy and colder tomorrow with that cold front moving in. And yes, there is the chance of wintry weather, but that potential really looks to be just sitting just off to our west. But our western counties, west of Waco, Temple, Killeen, again, a snowflake or two can't be ruled out. Do want to remind you, this is still a pretty fluid forecast, so great opportunity to download our free KWTX weather app. We're updating that constantly throughout the day with any new data that's coming in. 100% chance of rain tomorrow, 90% chance of rain on Thursday. We'll keep an eye on that wintry mix potential out west. I think the biggest impacts stay well west of us. Kind of a cool start to the new year, but we warm up as we head through next week.
News 10 weather brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today. Ford is the best in Texas.
Well, the number 2 ranked Baylor Bears returned to the Farrell Center today. After a 7-day break, the athletes were able to go home for Christmas, a great gift to all of them. And today they had a full roster ready to go after some COVID-19 issues a couple weeks ago. Davion Mitchell sets up Jonathan Chamwa-Chachua with the alley-oop there early. Then later, Baylor is up 39-22 at this point. Adam Flagler, his return after missing the last couple games. He is good for a 3 there, and then this was pretty, so why not try it again? Another alley-oop for Jonathan Chamwa-Chachua, another dunk here. He finished the game with 13 points and 11 rebounds. And then later, Adam Flagler, nice drive there to the hoop. He had 10 points in his return today. Maceo Teague actually led Baylor's scoring with 20 points, and Jared Butler had 17. Altogether, the Bears put up 93 points to beat the Central Arkansas Bears 93-56. So Baylor is now 7-0 on the season. The Bears will play Alcorn State tomorrow back at the Farrell Center at 2 p.m. And the Texas Bowl is canceled. This year's game was supposed to feature TCU and Arkansas. It should have been played on Thursday in Houston at NRG Stadium, but due to COVID-19 issues at TCU, the game has been called off. Organizers say tickets will be refunded. The Alamo Bowl is still on for tonight at 8. It's going to feature Texas and CU Boulder. We'll be right back after the break.
And that's our time. Be sure to join us at 9 o'clock over on CW12 and at 10 o'clock right here. Have a great night.
With the most experienced weather team, we give you twice the coverage to stay ahead of the storm and keeping you informed. The KWTX Weather Edge and now the Weather Explorer. This is the team you can trust, powered by Johnson Brothers Ford.